Have you ever noticed how some people can't bring themselves to celebrate your success? Instead of offering support, they find subtle ways to tear you down. They won't say it outright, but their words are laced with envy, disguised as concern, advice, or even backhanded compliments. You just got lucky. Let's see how long this lasts. Must be nice to have everything handed to you. These words don't come from strangers. They come from people who know you. Friends, co-workers, even family members. And they don't say these things because they see a flaw in you. They say them because they see something in you they wish they had. Your ambition, your discipline, your ability to take risks. These things remind them of their own limitations. And instead of pushing themselves forward, they try to pull you back. But here's the truth. Their words are never about you. They are about them, about their fears, their insecurities, their regrets. And the moment you understand this, their words lose their power. Jealousy is rarely direct. It doesn't announce itself with a warning or wear a sign that says, "I'm envious of you." Instead, it disguises itself in words that seem harmless, even helpful. It speaks in the language of criticism, but not the kind meant to build or improve. No, jealous criticism is different. It's meant to shrink you, to cast doubt over your achievements, and to make you second-guess yourself. When someone sees you rising, doing what they wish they could, it stirs something in them, a reminder of their own inaction, their missed chances, their unfulfilled potential. Instead of confronting that feeling, instead of using it as motivation, they turn outward. They focus on you. And they don't praise, they don't encourage, they criticize. But not in an obvious way. They disguise it as honesty. They wrap it in concerned. You're moving too fast. Are you sure you're making the right decision? They don't ask because they care. They ask because they want to plant a seed of doubt in your mind. They want you to hesitate, to slow down, to question yourself just enough to lose momentum. Because if you slow down, if you stop, they won't have to face their own regrets. That's not as impressive as you think. Why would they say that? Because to them your success is uncomfortable. It reminds them of where they are, of what they haven't done. If they can convince you that what you've achieved isn't that special, they don't have to feel bad about not achieving it themselves. You got lucky. Luck. At first it might seem like a simple statement, but if you look deeper, you'll see the underlying jealousy. They don't want to admit that your success is a result of your hard work, so they make it seem as if it was just a matter of circumstances. They tell themselves that the only reason you got ahead was because you had better opportunities, more support, or some kind of unfair advantage. It's their way of avoiding the truth that you put in the effort, took risks, and made sacrifices while they chose not to. Jealous people also use this kind of comparison to convince themselves that they are still superior, even if they haven't achieved the same results. They want to believe that their potential is greater than yours, even if they've never done anything to prove it. That's why they say, "I just never had the time," or "I could do it, but I'm focusing on other things." These statements are meant to make them feel better about not taking action. If they can convince themselves that they had the ability but simply chose not to use it, they don't have to face the fact that they lack the discipline or drive to succeed. They take it even further. Instead of just comparing, they downplay your achievements by making it seem like something easy or unimpressive. They might say, "That's not as hard as people think," or "Anyone could do that if they really tried." But the reality is, not everyone does. Not everyone is willing to put in the hours, push through the setbacks, and stay committed when things get tough. Yet a jealous person won't acknowledge that. They want to believe that success is either effortless or meaningless, so they don't have to feel bad about not having it. Their words are never about giving credit where it's due. They are about protecting their ego. Instead of celebrating someone else's progress, they feel the need to justify why they aren't in the same place. It's not because they lacked opportunity, and it's not because life was unfair to them. It's because, at some point, they made different choices that led them to where they are now. But rather than take responsibility for those choices, they cling to the idea that they were just as capable, just as talented, and that the only difference was that they didn't try. Jealous people rarely express their envy openly. Instead, they disguise it by questioning your intentions, making it seem like they are simply observing changes in your character rather than resenting your progress. When they see you evolving, improving, or reaching new levels of success, they don't acknowledge the discipline and effort it took. Instead, they frame it as a negative transformation. They say things like, "You've changed," or "You're just doing this for attention." At first glance, these words might seem like a casual remark, but there's something deeper beneath them. When they say, "You've changed," they don't mean it as a compliment. They mean it as an accusation. They want you to feel guilty for growing beyond what they expected of you. They are uncomfortable with the fact that you are no longer the same person they once knew, because your success forces them to question their own stagnation. They want you to believe that self-improvement is something to be ashamed of rather than something to embrace. By framing your growth as something negative, they attempt to manipulate your perception of yourself. They imply that your achievements have made you arrogant, distant, or inauthentic. But in reality, it is not you who has changed in a bad way. It is their perspective of you that has shifted. The moment you step outside the boundaries of what they believed you were capable of, they feel threatened. Instead of being happy for you, they try to pull you back to the version of yourself that made them more comfortable. Another common phrase they use is, "You're just doing this for attention." This statement is designed to discredit your efforts by making it seem like your motivation isn't genuine. Rather than recognizing your ambition, hard work, or passion, they reduce your success to a mere attempt to seek validation from others. They want to make you feel as if your achievements are superficial, as if the only reason you are pushing yourself is to impress people. But what they are really doing is projecting their own insecurities onto you. They assume that you must be seeking attention because deep down, they crave it themselves. When a jealous person questions your intentions, they are not trying to understand you better. They are trying to create doubt in your mind, to make you feel as though you are not being true to yourself. They want you to hesitate, to second-guess your path, because if you do, you might slow down, and if you slow down, they won't have to feel like they are being left behind. Their words are never about genuine concern. They are about control. They know they cannot stop you from succeeding, so they attempt to make you feel guilty for it. If they can't keep you from rising, they at least want to make the process uncomfortable for you, because in their eyes, your growth is not just about you, it's a reminder of everything they failed to become. Jealous people often try to disguise their envy by giving backhanded compliments or making passive-aggressive remarks. Instead of openly expressing their resentment, they choose words that seem harmless on the surface, but carry an underlying message meant to belittle or undermine you. They say things like, "Not bad for someone like you," or "Must be nice to have things work out so easily." These statements are carefully crafted to make it seem like they are acknowledging your success, while subtly diminishing it at the same time. Not bad for someone like you. They are implying that they never expected you to succeed in the first place. It's a way of framing your accomplishments as a surprise rather than something you worked hard for. The hidden message is that they see you as someone who wasn't supposed to reach this level, and rather than admit that they were wrong about you, they pretend to be impressed in a way that still keeps you beneath them. This is how they try to maintain a sense of superiority while pretending to be supportive. Another common phrase is, "Must be nice to have things work out so easily." This statement is meant to make it seem like your achievements were handed to you rather than earned. It dismisses the sacrifices, the long hours, and the struggles that led to your success. Instead of recognizing the effort you put in, they attribute it to luck or external factors. What they are really saying is, "I wish I had what you have, but since I don't, I will act like you didn't deserve it." They want to create the illusion that your path was smoother than theirs, so they don't have to confront the reality that you simply put in more effort. Sometimes they phrase their jealousy as advice, saying things like, "Don't let it go to your head," or "Let's see how long this lasts." These comments are meant to make you question yourself, to plant the idea that your success is either temporary or undeserved. They are not offering guidance. They are trying to make you feel insecure about what you have achieved. They hope that by making you doubt yourself, you will hesitate, slow down, or even stop altogether. Jealous people also like to compare your achievements to their own in subtle ways. They might say, "That's great, but I remember when I did something similar." Or, "I could have done that too, but I had other priorities." These statements shift the focus away from you and back onto them, making it clear that they are not truly celebrating your success, but instead trying to downplay it. Their goal is to remind you and themselves that you are not as special as your achievements might suggest. Their words are never about genuine encouragement. They are about masking their discomfort with your growth. They don't want to acknowledge that you worked harder, stayed committed, and took the risks they were too afraid to take. So instead, they choose words that make your success feel smaller, hoping that if they say it enough times, you might start believing it too. Jealousy is never loud and obvious. It hides behind subtle words, passive-aggressive remarks, and disguised concern. Those who envy your success will rarely admit it outright. Instead, they will minimize your achievements, predict your failure, compare themselves to you, and make you question your own growth. Their words are not meant to offer insight or wisdom. They are meant to plant doubt, to keep you from rising too high. Because your success is a painful reminder of their own inaction. But here's what you must remember. Truly successful and secure people do not speak this way. Those who have achieved greatness, who understand the dedication it takes, will never dismiss your efforts or try to hold you back. Only those who feel left behind will try to pull you down with their words. So when you hear these phrases, don't let them shake you. Let them remind you that you are moving forward while others choose to stay behind. Keep going, keep growing, and let their jealousy fuel your determination rather than your doubt. Good luck on your journey to success, and remember, never dim your light just because it makes others uncomfortable. Keep shining, keep striving, and thank you for taking the time to hear this message.